Limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairing, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops that find to these Urkels that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow, who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairing on them niggas. We Ric Flairing on them niggas.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Face, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing on them, Ric Flairing, son up, baby.
Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack, Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walk it, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Scotty watching Offscript. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hey, listen. Oh, he got Los Angeles checking in the LA. Hey, what should I? Hit it. Let's go. Appreciate you guys for checking in. Shout out to Nashville checking in as well. Hey, listen, I love King Griffey Jr. All right, I found this shirt in Ross like 5 years ago. I have never let it go. It has moved with me everywhere I've gone. So shout out to King Griffey. I'm a huge fan. All right, listen, today, hot topic. We are talking about Deion Sanders of Jacksonville State on NIL deals. All right, we're going to talk about Deion Sanders of Jacksonville State. All right, and his comments about NIL deals and what NIL deals are, what they're about, and everything like that. Now, he made a comment on Twitter. I don't want to say everything Coach Sanders does usually goes viral or somewhat semi-viral, but it's picked up a lot of steam. It's picked up a lot of coverage from different places and things like that. Listen, I get that he's trying to rep Jacksonville State, and I understand that they're an FCS program, right? My point is this, though. This is my thing. I'm always going to say you're in the wrong lane. You're focusing on a lane that is not yours. Okay, you're focusing on a lane that is not yours. Okay, you can. There's kids in FCS deals. There's kids in FCS that are getting deals, but then there's also kids at Power 5 level that are just getting deals out the yin yang. Okay, I just think if you focus in on what you guys do well and what you're able to do, and stop looking on the outside. All right, I think you might have a play there, but. I want to read an article from Black Enterprise, right? And it talks about Coach Prime and Jacksonville State, right? So let me bring this up real quick. All right. Jacksonville State University football coach Deion Sanders joins the list of those upset about players making money. Now, listen. I appreciate Coach Prime for doing what he's doing at Jacksonville State. It's been monumental. It's been monumental. Okay, of all the changes that he's made at Jacksonville State. Now, this is Black Enterprise. This is Black Enterprise talking about Jacksonville State University football coach Deion Sanders. Okay, so I just want to say, first of all, I appreciate him for doing that. All right, so they go further. Jacksonville State University coach Deion Sanders has a problem with the way money and the earned under the NCAA's name, image, and likeness inside NCAA rules. Hold on, let me zoom in on this a little bit more for you guys so you guys can read it. All right, bam, there we go. So once again, the Jacksonville State head coach Deion Sanders has a problem with the way money earned under the NCAA name, image, and likeness rules and changing athletes' behavior. Okay, bringing down. This is the video. I'm gonna play the video a little bit. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, cool. I'm gonna play the video of what Coach Prime said.
NCAA, you got a little problem. Let me explain. See, with the NILs, which really ain't NIL because there ain't no name, image, and likeness, it's just pay-per-view right now. That's what they doing to the big boys. Little boys, we can't compete with that. But anyway, you got a problem. See, when you start paying...
Who is...
That's what happened when you got too many friends.
Athletes like they're professionals. You get athletes acting like they're professionals, and you don't have staffs large enough and equipped enough to handle a young man with money. Let me go deeper. Handle a young man that's making more money than some of the coaches on staff. You got a real problem. So I suggest to you to allow college teams to hire more qualified men, that could handle these young men that's getting this money.
Okay. Let me rewind it because I know some of you guys might have missed it.
NCAA, you got a little problem. Let me explain. See, But the NILs, which really ain't NIL because ain't no name, image, and likeness, it's just pay-per-view right now. That's what they doing to the big boys. Little boys, we can't compete with that. But anyway, you got a problem. See, when you start paying athletes like they're professionals, you get athletes acting like they're professionals. And you don't have staffs large enough and equipped enough to handle a young man with money. Let me go deeper. Handle a young man that's making more money than some of the coaches on staff. You got a real problem. So I suggest to you.
Okay. I want to be very clear about this. There's a point where you have to understand that this is a capitalist market. I'm going to say that again. Everything that comes into America, everything that you do in the United States of America is a capitalist market. You get all you can get from whoever is willing to pay you your value. Coaches do it all the time. You're at a program, another program offers you money, you dip, right? The fact that you're bringing up one or two kids that are possibly on your team, it could be maybe 4 or 5 kids, but if you're saying 2 or 3 kids at a Power 5 program that are making more money than some coaches, one, the kid's NIL deal 9 times out of 10 is probably going to be stipulated on him playing at that institution. Right now, mind you, with the new rules, you can no longer pay a player to come to your institution. That is completely out. You can't have a stipulation in your contract that says the only way I'm paying you, right, is if you come to the institution. That's not what that is. You can't do that anymore. So you already have to be at the institution to get paid. So if the kid is no longer doing what is required or necessary to be on the team, you still have the authority to dismiss the kid from the team. So what are we talking about? The kid's livelihood is still within the coach's grasp. If I'm a head coach of a Power 5 program and I got a 5-star athlete coming in with $1 million NIL deal and he doesn't want to put the work in or he doesn't want to do what I say, I can pull his scholarship. He can no longer be on my team. So you probably no longer have an NIL deal. So why are you trying to make something very, very small into a very, very big issue? There are 80-something players on college football teams. Why are you? So you telling me 80 kids are just going to start disrespecting the kid, disrespecting coaches? You just telling me 80 kids are just going out? If 5 or 10 kids have NIL deals, so you telling me all 5 or 10 kids are just going to be disrespectful and not listen to the coach? No, that's not the case. Listen, money always makes you more of what you are, right? If you have money, you don't want to listen, you're going to find yourself in trouble. Listen, it's going to weed itself out. It's going to weed itself out. If you got 2 or 3 kids that don't know how to do money management, they get themselves caught up in some stupid stuff and they can't be at school. That's just what's going to happen. It happens now with kids being broke. Kids driving with guns in the car, kids riding with people who had drugs in the car, kids getting in sexual assault cases. It's not going, listen, at the end of the day, kids are going to find a way to weed themselves out. Money or no money. Money or no money. So you cry, listen, man, it is a capitalist market. These schools have been making billions off these kids' backs. These kids have been making billions off these kids' back. Imagine what Reggie Bush would have made at USC. Imagine what Vince Young would have made at Texas. Imagine what Johnny Manziel would have made at Texas A&M. They have been making billions. How you think they paying coaches hundreds of $1 million? Nobody comes to see the coach. Everybody comes to see the player. And not all 80 of the players that you're teaching or coaching are going to go to the NFL. So why not get paid while you hot? There's a lot of 5-star running backs that don't make it to the NFL. There's a lot of 4-star guys that don't make it to the NFL. So if you can get $500,000, $250,000, $1 million deal, and let's say, God forbid, you blow your knee out as a junior, you got some money. You've made something. Instead of just walking on stage talking about, I got a 4-year degree. Where the school has been profiting millions off of you. Listen, there's a very simple thing in business. I cannot pay you what I'm making. I.e., if I'm making $100,000, I can't pay an employee $100,000. These coaches are making millions. The reason these schools can pay these coaches millions is because they're making even more money off the kids on the field. So my thing is this. You're crying. Stop crying. Stop worrying about the minute. It's not a 90% college league. It has NIL deals. That's not what it is. It will never be like that. There are too many players that get paid NIL deals. There's more players than money. There's always going to be a kid going through the cracks to make it. There's always going to be a kid that falls through the cracks that can become whatever he wants to become, an NFL product or whatever. So why are you complaining about the minute? You're in FCS. Worry about FCS money, okay? There are kids. Let me show you. Raekwon Smith, right? Raekwon Smith, former Norfolk State running back, had over 50 NIL deals. I say that again. That is not a misquote. You can read it for your damn self. He had over 50 NIL deals, right? If kids understand that social media and the avenues that come with social media, you can make money outside of football. If you build a brand, if you build a niche, if you build if you build it, they will come. So my thing is this, is his coach crying about him getting NIL deals? No. He went out and did it. He went out and got the work done. He put time and effort into building his brands. Brands came to him and was posting, right? The lineman from Mark Evans, he has a Denny's deal. All right. His own son Shador has a Gatorade deal, a Beats deal, and an Okoy's deal of Greek yogurt. There's another kid that makes $10,000. He's an FCS player. He makes $10,000 a month off a branded post on his TikTok. So once again, the levels don't matter. You can, the thing about, see, this is what people are failing to realize. The thing about NIL deals is giving kids the opportunity to make money in whatever lane they decide to do it in. You guys are crying, bitching, and moaning about football. That's what you're crying and complaining about. That's not what it is. You got to look at it in the grand scheme of everything. What if you have a talented girl who can do stuff outside of a player sport? That means she can go do it and get paid for it. What if you have a young man who sings really well, right? So he goes, Kurt Franklin picks him up and travels, he can get paid. That's what the name, image, and likeness really means. It's bigger than just sports. Because there was a lot of time where kids would play golf tournaments and they couldn't even get paid if they won an amateur tournament. They couldn't take money. So it's bigger than just football. It's giving every kid an opportunity to make money out in its own self. If a person If a person at Alabama A&M starts a business, they can make money off of it. They don't have to give back their scholarship. Exactly. Destroying is a perfect example. He had a scholarship to go to University of Central Florida. He started his YouTube channel. They made him choose whether to keep doing YouTube or to take his scholarship. He chose to go YouTube, and now he's a millionaire. But he could have been a millionaire right now in this era. He could have been a millionaire at Central Florida. He could have been building Central Florida's brand by telling him he's at school at Central Florida, come at Central Florida, blase, blase. He could have been a great brand ambassador. So yes, if you're only focused on football, if you're only focused on sports, it's going to look like, oh, they have the unfair advantage. But it's not just about sports. The NIL deal is for student athletes to make money off their name, image, and likeness in other areas of their own lives. So stop complaining about something you can't control. It is a capitalist market. We are in the United States of America. We about making money. And making money does not have an age to it. And with social media being the way it is, there are millionaire social medias. This is my thing. What you need to be, what everybody needs to be talking about is this. How do swag schools make more money off of NIL deals? Instead of bitching and moaning about, oh, we can't get players. Oh, we can't do this. Oh, we can't do that. Power 5 has this. Power 5 has that. How about you fix your own backyard? Sell some jerseys, swag schools. Sell some signed stuff by the players. You know why? Because that shows players, hey, if I do good at this school, they're going to sell my jersey. I can sign it. I'll get a piece of the pie. I'll get some money off of that, and I can stay. Isaiah Land, he can make money off his own jersey. Marquise Bell can make money. FAMU should be selling Marquise Bell jerseys. Bishop Bonnet could have been making money off his deal, and so forth and so on. So instead of you guys crying about stuff that you can't be involved in because you don't have the money, make money your own way. How about you do a new and old school package, right? So if a player in the new school has a jersey at the old school, you can sell them as a package deal. It could be a legend collection to where if, you know, whoever was an old star player at FAMU, you can add his jersey with the new kid and you can package it together. That's the stuff that you got to do to make money. That's the stuff. That's the type of things you got to do to be creative and think outside the box. Right? But all you're focusing on is what somebody else is doing. That's all you're focused on. That's not your lane. It's not your lane. Listen, I keep telling all you Jackson State Bammers, your brand is trash. Black Enterprise don't even know who you Bammers are. Jacksonville State University. This is Black Enterprise. This is a black-owned magazine. They don't even know who you Bammers are. So if you think you can pay, if you think you can get in with the big boys to pay for play, you can't. You never will. Okay? So do what's in your lane. Stay in your lane. If you don't believe me, Black Enterprise can't even get your names right. Black Enterprise, a black-owned media company, a black-owned this, don't even know who you are. But you guys are so big, so bad. Stop it. Stop it. Stay in your lane. It's just that simple. And your lane is not bad. Your lane is not bad. You just got to cultivate your lane. Instead of always looking at the Joneses like, man, they got a big house. Man, babe, we need to get a house that big. Oh, man, babe, they just got a Benz. Babe, we should get a Benz. Oh, babe, look at that. He got iron doors. Look at them 2 iron doors, babe. Listen, cultivate your own stuff. Cultivate your own stuff. Oh, that's a typo? You right. You're right. It's a typo, right? Let me show you. You know what a typo is? A typo is 1. Let me show you something else. Since you think you said Jacksonville. Oh, right here. Is this another typo? Jacksonville State University. Is that another typo? You know what? Let me see what else. It might be some other Jacksonville states in here since we got typos. I ain't never seen multiple typos. That's just me though. On the same word? Yeah, I ain't never seen that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me see what else we got up here. Let me see. Do. Nah, that's just him quoting that's just me though. That's just me though. I ain't never seen same typo in the same word. But I guess that person guess he can't spell. But at the end of the day, it's very simple for me. Very, very simple for me for Deion Sanders and Jacksonville State. Stop. Listen. If Coach Prime of Jacksonville State, right, was at a Power 5 program, I could completely understand. I would completely understand. I'd be like, hey, man, if you can't compete in that lane, I get it, bro. FBS schools and stuff I get it. If you couldn't compete in that lane, I'd be like, dang, that's tough. You're not there. So why you focusing on being there? You're not there. Jacksonville State will never be what those FBS programs are. And that's okay. You just have to teach people how to cultivate their own yard. The same way Coach Prime at Jacksonville State is making people get out of bad contracts, redo their contracts, relook at the stuff, how they're doing things. That's called cultivating. That's cultivating. It's seeing all the issues that we got. Listen. All you Bamas out here talking about, yeah, Coach Prime's right about NIL deals. How about y'all get out of badass contracts? How about y'all do that? You can't pay for nobody because you're broke. Because you in horrible ass contracts. You're mismanaging funds. That's what you're doing. So you over here, that's why you can't get an NIL deals and, politics and people holding government funding. Yeah, we all understand that, right? We all understand that. But you're not cultivating what you already got. You won't even clean up what you already have. You won't even take pride in what you already have. Stop looking down the street and cultivate your own garden. Why? When you go to your administration, when you go to your alumni meetings, ask your administration, ask your alumni, guys, why are we not selling jerseys? Why are we not selling women jerseys? Why are we not selling babies jerseys? Why are we not doing everything possible to make more money for the institution? Do you know how happy a kid would be? Do you know how happy a Kill Glass would have been? And I'm not saying he needed the money. I'm not counting his pockets. But how happy would a Kill Glass would have been if he would have got 20% of every jersey sold with his number on it? How do you think he would have felt about that? He would have been dope. Like, he got 20% coming in on every jersey sale. Come on, man. Like, that's what you have to make it. You have to make it entertaining for kids to want to be there. And you just saying because, we ain't getting NIL deals, it's not going to make anything any better. Because the same Bamas.
There is one other participant in the conference.
Call lines open, 516-259-9041, 516-259-9041. The same Bamas, right, that are getting these NIL deals, there's no guarantee that they're going to stay for 4 years. So the same way they've been dipping out, dropping to the FCS program, it's no different. It's no different. So just listen, these are my few points I want to make before I take a caller. One, NIL deals are bigger than sports. I want to make that very clear. NIL deals are bigger than sports, right? Let's say there's a kid at Alabama State, right, who's a great poker player. He goes and enters himself into the World Series of Poker. He plays football, right? He's a backup or whatever. Let's say he enters himself into the World Series of Poker. Let's say he makes it to the Elite Eight. He gets paid over $200,000. He can take that money home. Why? Name, image, and likeness. That's why. You got to see it bigger than just sports. It's for all the kids who might have a side hustle, who might start a car business, you got girls who might have you might have a girl in the volleyball team who's a baker and she starts her own baking company at the school. That's why you like NIL deals. So what you should be telling kids is this, oh my God, your mamas are so stupid. What these schools should be telling kids is this. Hey, listen, if you come here, right, and you do anything that allows you to the NIL deal, we will cultivate that. We will cultivate that. If it's a business, if it's marketing, if it's social media, we will cultivate that. We won't hold you back. We got the networks and connections to put you in places that will make it work. That's how you do it outside of what the Power Five is doing it. Hey, JB, talk to me.
Scotty, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. Excellent topic so far, sir. I just wanted to mention a couple of things right quick. First of all, I'm glad you're talking about this. Second topic is, I remember when these NIL deals like first started getting signed. I think it was an article that came out in July of last year, in which Deion Sanders was praising, said, hey, we got NIL deals coming. You come in Jackson State, you got an NIL lined up for you, just waiting for you and whatnot. Now, when Nick Saban and Davo and all of them were complaining about NIL deals, what was the fan base saying? We said, oh, y'all just jealous. Now the kids going to start considering us because they get NIL deals in any school, blah, 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 blah. Now, it seems like that Deion seems to maybe figure it out. Well, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. And you said this too. FCS schools are not getting what FBS programs get.
Absolutely.
Period. They are not in the same league and in the same ballpark. And I've said in this show very, very long, several times, look and see what the rest of the FCS does. For some reason, we want to act like that we're just an isolated sort. You are not isolated. You are no different than any other FCS program. And I think I sent you a little something earlier, something that was an article about Jay Billis mentioned about NIL deals. I guess the coach or complaint about NIL deals. I think he said, congratulations. Now you got to start paying your workers.
That's fair.
Once again, right, we wanted these NIL deals, we wanted the exposure, and this is the issue that Deion has with this. When he was getting his son a deal, when some of his other players were getting deals, everyone was fine. Everyone was fine. Everyone was okay. Now, because Deion doesn't like it, now people say, well, it's not a good deal with Deion's right. I said, wait a minute. He said the exact opposite less than a year ago. And now he's realizing that he's not where he thinks he is. Now he's realizing that he's not a big dog. And also you mentioned about taking care of your own house. I think, and I saw this morning, I think JSU's athletic budget is like $8 million a year. Maybe they should try to increase that part first before worrying about what someone else gets.
Facts.
And the most marketable name in FCS right now, totally doubt that. Win some games outside the SWAC, then you could talk about how marketable you are. But you're not a marketable name in FCS if your athletic budget is less than $10 million a year. You're just not that.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's okay. Like I said, it's okay to stay in your lane, but stay in your lane. You're not P5. Just stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
That's all I got for
Appreciate it, JB.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Let me go back to somebody said. Listen, that is understandable, but you can't complain. This is what I'm saying. You can't complain about, in a capitalist market, you can't complain about what a kid is able to get off of his work. That doesn't make sense. Oh, because a kid makes more money than the coach, it's a problem. How is it a problem? It's only a problem if the kid is what you say he is. If you think that kid is going to go into the situation and not want to work, not want to work out, the school still has full autonomy over his scholarship. Make that make sense. Once again, you cannot complain about a kid who has earned his worth in NIL deals based off what he's done in high school, maybe college, going to another place, and you can't dictate to him. You can't dictate that. You can't say, oh, he shouldn't get paid more than coaches. Why? Why? His value, if they feel his value was that important, go get your money. And it's not up to it's the kid's responsibility to manage it right. I would say if the school wants to be a part of making sure he has some financial literacy, that's awesome. That's great. I would hope for that. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the school has still autonomy over his scholarship. So if his NIL deal is a part of him playing on the team and he gets kicked off the team, then he no longer has an NIL deal. That would be I would think that would be most stipulations in NIL deals. If I'm paying you to play, or if I'm playing you because you play at the University of Alabama, you get kicked off the team for some stupid stuff because you don't want to act right, then I'm not paying you. It's just that simple. So come on, man, stop it. It's like a regular job. I pay you. You don't want to come to work, I fire you. It's that simple. How are y'all that dumb that you can't realize that? Come on, man. It's just that simple. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, what up?
What's goody?
Hey, quick. I don't know all the ins and outs of NIL, but you saying about the schools and the jerseys. Wouldn't they? I'm not mistaken. They would have to go to a particular company. So Jack State is Under Armour, right? So
I believe so.
I'm just shooting the shit. Like, let's say they bought the jerseys from Under Armour. And then the players would get a portion of their proceeds, but somebody has to pay for their jerseys off rip. You know what I mean?
Well, if you do it to a sense of like, because I know some schools, they fund you the jerseys because you're a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're your sponsor, so they'll fund you the jerseys. They might make you pay for something on the back end, but you're definitely not getting them. You're definitely not getting them for what you're paying for them. You get what I'm saying? So even if it's just, you could do it like this. It doesn't have to be 100,000 jerseys. It could be literally 2,000 jerseys, and Under Armour gave them to you for $20 a pop. You end up selling them for $80. Like, come on, man, that's wholesale retail. Yeah. So that ain't nothing new.
But like this is what this is one problem that we got in our communities. Like, there's not enough black business owners. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that all the people get NIL boosters, whatnot, are freaking of course not black, but that's one of the problems. But what I say the schools could do, go to your local businesses around the community. Hey, blanket, blank, you know what I'm saying? Johnson Ford, you know what I'm saying? Would you want to sponsor one of our athletes? You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh.
Well, the school can't solicit. The school can't solicit. So like a coach or something like that, it would have to be like an alumni member. They will have to go out and solicit businesses to come back to give back, which I think is kind of dumb in my personal opinion. I think you should allow schools to go get offers and deals because businesses rather partner with the brand of the school than they would an individual player sometimes. You get what I'm saying? So if there's a business, you know what I'm saying? If there's a business that, is owned by a former alumni, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll be like, yo, I want to partner with my school. You know what I'm saying? But the school can't initiate that deal. It would have to be a booster or alumni member, somebody like that instills that deal and then makes it happen on the back end. But,
Hey, listen, like, I feel on this, the conversation do need to get started. Like, you got to think outside the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just keep ice skating uphill thinking you're going to get the same results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, one last thing before I go. FAMU trash. So is all corn, so is Southern. I'll let you.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. How are players not employees? Think about this. I want you to think about this. You are giving a deal. You're giving a let's say a 1-year deal every time, right? That's what scholarships are. They're renewable. You're giving a 1-year deal. If you start acting up, I can dismiss you from the team. Another word, I can fire you. how are you not an employee? Make that make sense. Just because you put student athlete in front of it does not make it that you're not an employee. You're still an employee of the school. You're still a representation of the school. So if you go out and do other stuff, you can get dismissed from the team, i.e. fired, okay? You are paid by the school in a scholarship. Like, think about what you're saying before you Bama's just out here saying stuff, all right? The payment is a free education. Your books are paid for. We stipend your stuff. That is money given to you so you are debt-free, right? If you decide to do anything against the brand or in bad light of the school, you can be fired. That's called conduct. In the military, we call that conduct unbecoming. So there are reasons to be let go from your school or from your team that you work for. Got it. What's up, Dre? Talk to me.
What's up, man?
What's up?
I think what everybody's saying that Deion should stay in his lane. He's too big of a personality. He's always been in whatever lane he wants to be in. But I think when it comes to the NIL, there's only a select few of athletes that are making that much to where it's really an issue. Bryce Young, your boy that's in USC, even Shador with a couple of ones. It's only a couple of big ones. But even if you got, I'm sure everybody at USC isn't getting what Caleb's getting. But even if you getting $50,000 because you're on full scholarship, so you mind if all of a sudden you get $50,000 and you might be the third string tight end, $50,000 a year for a college student where your expenses are already paid. That's good, So I think when people worried about where an athlete's going to cuss out the coach and because that's not going to happen. If all of a sudden he was an asshole before he got it, he's going to be an asshole after he got it. Excuse my French. But if, any student, if you're at a big time university, you're doing a disservice to yourself to not have set your business up. Even the players that are at Jackson, everybody there should at least have had their business set up like, hey, where they could profit off something. Because everybody knows about Jackson State now. So the player as a disservice, you may not get with Shador, but it's plenty of money for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you're getting $15,000 a year, you're on full scholarship, $15,000 a year, $20,000 a year, that's a lot.
A lot. Thank you.
That's a lot when you already on full scholarship. So the elite who are getting maybe $1 million, maybe $2 million, I'm willing to bet that's probably less than 1%. That's probably less than 10 people out of all college athletes. Less than 10 people that's getting that. Everybody else, if also you're a college athlete and I got a business, hey, let me throw you $1,000 a month to promote my business every week. $1,000 a month, don't know what you got going on in your family, but if you could send $500,
that's something.
That to the crib.
Yep.
That's a lot.
That's something.
So, I don't think Deion's so big of a personality. He's always, anything he says something, it's going to get everybody listening. That's just the way it is. There's only a couple of people who have that type of pull. So, but I don't think people should be worrying about the athletes because the NIL deals that are that much life changing, where you may be able to quit and this, that, and the other. There's only about 10 people probably in the whole NCAA that's getting
that type of money.
Deals.
Yeah. But hey, Dre, appreciate the call though.
Okay.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all call in, make your point. All right, make your point. Go to it, make your point. Hey, caller, you lot, talk to me.
Hey, Scotty, man, this is Dr. Sid.
What's up,
Once
Doc?
again, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. A couple things, man, that of course, when I come on, it seems like a sermon sometimes. I'm not going to go there today. But this is something that I've noticed about this conversation. First of all, I commend you for bringing this up. This is a great conversation. But why not? We talked about financial literacy. I'm pretty sure we have some financial planners that's on this line, that's in the Offscript community. Why not go and volunteer some of this?
Come on, talk about it.
To some of these, why not go and give a free financial literacy course?
Talk about it.
Why not contract with one of the HBCUs? I mean, HBCUs give us a brain. Everybody talks about how great HBCUs are as far as education, but we need to put some action behind our education as well. If for our love HBCUs. So why not with the financial planners, the insurance advisors, the sales, why not go to these schools and say, hey, your team, Travis Hunter, whomever, they have an NIL deal, correct? Okay, well, why not I teach an open class on how to invest the money, save that money, and store it for the future, and make that money work for you. That doesn't cost people nothing.
Facts.
It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And then just take a wild guess, my HBCU family. What is that going to do? That's opening up more job opportunities for us. That's opening up even more. Even with you, man, I'm really behind you, man. I really want your platform to go as big as it's going to go because it's a great platform. And another thing, and we could talk about this offline, and you have my number, you can text me or whatever. Let's see if we can expand your brand for all of us who have attended and graduated from HBCUs. Like, hey, I know this guy, Scotty, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he has this platform. Let's see if we can get these interns going because, hell, I got 12 of them starting for me in June.
Hey, I need some interns while you're playing. I was just talking to my girl about that. I do need some interns.
But that's what I'm saying. Expand. It's all about, okay, if you have knowledge and you sit on it, then you're making an asshole out of you, me, and everybody who's involved. That's just the bottom line.
Facts.
And me, I don't cut no corners. I speak the truth. I put it in your face and say, hey, this is what it is. So we got to get up off our crutches and be like, okay, well, this school doing this. Okay, well, they 24 hours is the same as yours. Last time I checked, a white person, black person, Chinese, whomever, we all put our pants and drawers on the same way.
Facts.
So what's the problem? So I think, calling all financial planners, all money advisors, all booking managers, all managers, call them out. Hey, this is the perfect opportunity. We want to make this HBCU thing to the world. Why not give back? It's going to profit everybody. And then guess what? Now you come in and open up opportunities for sports agents. Because now you have a relationship with these kids.
Facts.
So they're going to trust you. So we can't worry about what a coach is not getting right now. What we need to worry about is expanding the brand. And then we won't have to worry about an $8 million budget. Because if we do it and we do it right, it'll be a damn $80 million budget every year. But we have to do it the correct way.
I like that, Doc.
It has to do it. But, man, that's all I got to say, man. I got to meet. Love your show. Matter of fact, my CEO, me and him sit up here and watch this stuff from time to time just to let you know. As a matter of fact, that day when you had played that Leave the Door Open, man, we were jamming off. And this is a white guy doing that. So we had fun, man. But man, peace and love. Thank you for your time. Just put some stuff on your brain. And like I said, with our HBCU family, Use what the HBCUs and number one, what God has given us, a brain. Use it and let's grow together.
Let's go. Appreciate the call.
Thanks
Doc.
so much, man.
No problem.
You got it.
All right, let me. I want to buff that out real quick, right? Let's buff that out because a lot of people say, these institutions have business schools, right? They have business schools. Who would you take advice from? If Coach Prime walked into your assembly, would you take advice from Coach Prime or would you take advice from a business teacher? Listen, we as black people believe in what we see, right? If you see success, you're more prone to hear, you're more prone to hear that person who's successful or somebody you want to be, right? It's hard catch for me that you would listen to a guy talking about business than a guy who is making millions. Has made millions. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, all you guys are talking about, oh yeah, they got business stuff. No. Give me somebody who is practically out here making millions. And I'm not disrespecting teachers. I'm not saying that at all because they give you a foundation to build upon. But if I'm getting money in and I want to know what to do with that money to keep flowing, give me somebody who's doing it. Give me somebody who is doing it, who's out here making mills. Okay, that's what I want. I want that. Hey, what's up, LaShonda?
Hey, my bad, Scott. I've been waiting forever. I wanted to say this about NIL. Because I get so tired of us complaining about problems we can fix ourselves. Now, when it comes to the students needing more resources, it's going to take these HBCUs to start their own collective. And I don't know if they realize that or they're just asleep at the wheel or they don't know how to get it started or whatever. Because here's my thing. If you have 1,000 alumni that contribute $10 a month, you can use that $10,000 a month to support the NIL needs of the students. This is not a problem that we need the NCAA to solve for us or the state legislatures or the federal legislatures. We're going to have to bring our money and resources to the table and help support our HBCUs in this new space. Otherwise, we're going to be asleep at the wheel, just like we are with all these other things that are going on. So I deal in this space every day. So I just wanted to put that out there. Alumni, y'all, we got to step up.
That's real.
At the end of the day, it's on us.
That's real.
We can't stop waiting and reaching for somebody to come and save us. It's on us. It's our time. We asked to be here, right, Scotty? We wanted more talent. We wanted more money, resources. We here now. And all I see every day on my Twitter page is what we can't do and complain. Now it's time to open up them wallets and let's get the job done. And I'm out. Scotty.
Appreciate it, LaShonda. Listen, this is what you got to also understand. Life is going to listen. Think about where we were 10 years ago, right? Where you would pay for something outright. Think about that. So I'm an IT guy, so I'm gonna talk about stuff that I know. Software programs, right? You could buy Adobe outright. You could buy Adobe After Effects outright. But more and more companies are doing subscription packages. Why? Because I make more money in the long term. Instead of you paying me $300 for one purchase, you might pay me a lifetime of $600 to $700 if you never let it go. You see what I'm saying? So more companies are going to subscription-based stuff to get more money out of you. So why not do it in your own business of your own school? If it's $10 a month, if it's $20 a month, if it's $50 a month, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody can do a big $1,200 a month or things like that. And I keep saying this, and I'm gonna always say it. I'm gonna keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna sound like a broken record. Barack Obama made his money in his campaign because of all of the little donations he got. He made little people feel big. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. He was asking for $10, $20, $30, $50. So you felt a part of something. You felt you like, man, I helped Barack get in place. If it wasn't for my $50, Barack wouldn't have been in office. He knew his market. He knew his demographic was not all of us weren't going to be able to buy $5,000 tables and $10,000 plates at fundraising events. But no, he made grandmama and them feel real important with that $20 they gave to Barack for his campaign. For those $50 they gave for his campaign. And let me say this also. You might dog FAMU. You might dog Courtney Gaucher. But the reason the alumni base was so excited because they saw change. That's a problem with a lot of these institutions, right? That's why you have so much influx at Jackson State now, right? It's because they see change. They really believe, yo, if I give Deion $100, that $100 is going to turn into something. Okay? So when the FAMU people were giving Gaucher money and they're seeing new renovations, new locker rooms, new this, new that, it makes them excited and makes them want to give more money. Because they know if I give you something, you're going to turn it into something. But it's too many schools taking money and not doing nothing. No upgrades. The building fund. Some of these HBCUs got building funds, and we all know we've been to church. The doorknob still messed up. The light bulb still out. The toilet in the back don't work. But they still got you donating to the building fund. Still got you donating to the building fund. That's what they say. That's what they want you to do. Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to me.
How you doing, Scotty? This is Randall Thomas from Killeen, Texas.
What's up, man? Talk to me.
Hey, bro, what I was trying to say is I don't think he was against them having NIL deals. I just think that he's saying that we need to get people in there. The same thing that you saying, he's saying the same thing. That y'all need to get people in there that can teach these kids how to handle their money. I really don't think he's against it at all. I watched the video 3 times. And I don't see where he said he's against it.
Okay, so you're hearing the back end, which is right. I said, like, yeah, you want people that can manage it, but the front end of it, and he's like, you're just paying for play. And then he had another video earlier. He had another statement earlier in different interviews where he's complaining about the market. He's like, yo, we can't compete. The guy, Shamar Stewart, the guy that was supposed to go to A&M, I mean, that supposedly was supposed to go to Jackson State, and he's like, hey, if you don't want to be here because you got paid, then we don't want you. Like, that's complaining. That's crying. You're crying about a market.
I feel you on that. I feel you on that part because I haven't seen that, but I'm going off of what you just said because I'm going to watch the video.
Once again, even in the video, he says, oh, we can't compete the little guys. We can't compete. That's complaining. That's complaining.
Bruh. I hear you, bro, but let me talk. I hear everything you saying because I go to bat for you as well. When I try to turn people onto your show, they try to hate. So what I'm saying is, yes, he probably did do a little complaining, but from what I'm gathering, the information I can only go by the video that I saw. And the information that I'm gathering is like y'all on the same track, but going at different speeds. So he's a little slow because I think they sort of older. But I feel what you're saying. Kids should be able to make money off the internet. Period. They make the schools too much money. But he need to get off of that slowness. And like some people say, his kids are making money. Yes, he is. But I don't, like I said before, I don't think he have a problem with it. You just need to get people to help these kids. And that's all I have to say.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Once again, right? If you listen to the whole thing, and if you've heard Deion on multiple occasions, he's going to cry about it, but he's also going to give you an idea. And I said, I don't have a problem with people managing, But what you can't act like, right? This is what you can't act like. You can't act like that all kids are going to act bad. You can't do that. And once again, with NIL deals, the school has full autonomy over the kids' lives at that program. I don't think you ever heard, if you ever go like read articles about Urban Meyer, he would tell kids, I own you. He would tell kids that, I own you, right? That's what happens at the same power that Deion has to cut kids whenever he wants, the same power that Chelsea Lucas has the power to cut Bama's whenever they want. Power 5 schools can do the same exact shit. So you got a kid who making millions. If they don't want you to be there, they cut you. If you acting stupid, they cut you. It's that simple. So what are you crying about? Oh, they won't listen to the coaches. You cut them. What are you talking about? Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
Hey, man, I was kind of lost, Scotty, on that video, and Deion was saying about, he was like, when you give a kid all this money, they become hard to manage. They become hard to coach. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about how the kids make more money than the coaches, but that is complaining too. When he was like, we the little guys, we can't afford that. It's like you trying to make your point, but also say, you gotta stop this basic because we can't afford this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get the other part where he was saying, like, you know, we gotta be able to hire more qualified coaches. My nigga, if y'all can't pay a player, what make you think you're gonna be able to hire more qualified coaches? What's your spill on that video? Like, you know, what you think about that?
Well, that's the video I played, and my thing is this: that's not the kid's problem, right? That's not a kid's problem. That's not my problem that you can't hire coaches that you feel can manage me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm still a grown ass man. You can call me a kid. I'm a grown ass man. I'm probably 19, 20. If I do something stupid, I'm probably gonna go to prison, right? So I'm grown. I can join the military. I can go shoot a rifle. So miss me with that, right? So you're grown. You might not, your mind might not be grown, but in the eyes of the law, you're grown. So if a kid decides to take $500,000, $1 million, 100,000, and he acts a plumb fool with it, the school still has every right to let that kid go. And I'll bet I could bet my bottom dollar that at the end of the day, that these NIL deals are stipulated on you playing for the team. Because why am I giving you money at Texas if you're not at Texas? that don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I'm over here like, what's this so qualified coach like? You like what does he consider a qualified coach, man? I mean, like, because if a kid getting paid $1 million, you only probably getting paid, but what, $400,000 is being there. I don't know what his salary is. You know what I'm saying? So where do you expect these qualified coaches to come? Is like, my whole thing is that spill was just probably like not a cry for help, but it's almost like, I want y'all to play, but I don't want y'all to play the big boy game because we can't afford it. That's all what I got from that whole message. But yeah, that's my time, Scotty.
No problem, Smash. Appreciate you, man. Hey, what's up, Bridges? Talk to me.
Shoot, what's up, Scotty?
What's goody?
I want to get first thing first. These kids are employees, bro. You got to think about it. These kids basically work a damn 12-hour shift. They wake up in the morning, go work out. After they go work out, they have a little 30-minute time to nap or go get breakfast. After they do that, they in school. Next thing you know, they in film session. After that, they go back to class. Next thing you know, they go eat lunch. And after that, they got football, basketball, baseball practice, or whatever. That's a 15, 17, 12-hour day. If that don't feel like no work schedule, then I don't know what the hell y'all thinking of, what the hell y'all smoking.
That's facts.
Because that's tough. Because I bet a lot of people are commenting and saying they ain't employees. They don't have a good job. So y'all need to really put it into these athletes' eyes and see what they do on everyday basis. And like Coach Prime said, I do agree with him on that last part, bro. It's easy for schools to hire an NIL consultant. It's so easy for somebody to hire an NIL consultant so these athletes can listen to somebody or do the right things with their money. Like we talked about, man. It's so easy to avoid these things, but you know, HBCUs try to make it so hard when all you just got to do is make three easy steps, and you 5 steps ahead of me and 10 steps backwards, man.
Facts.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say, Scotty, and love the show, man.
Hey, appreciate the call, Bridges. Thank you so much, man. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
All right. So my question is,
What's your name?
Everybody keeps saying.
What's your name?
Oh, it's Musa.
What's up, Musa?
So man, so everybody keeps saying this thing about the scholarships and the budgets. My question is, what? I know most of the schools are public schools. What is the difference in the funding of a say a Power 5 and like a good top level FCS, or even just a regular FBS schools? Like, why do they have so much more money? Is it based on just strictly donors? Because it can't just be that.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you different ranges, and people in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong, right? So let's start with the first thing. You got politics and government, right? So you have politics and governments in place that have been holding back Black funding for HBCU schools for a long time, not giving them what they're supposed to give them. Like if you look at the state of Florida, University of Florida, you know, UCEF and South Florida and all these schools, they get millions, and then FAMU ends up getting like $500,000. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. Then you have HBCU schools that have, you know, 2,000, 3,000 kids, and you try to charge student fees, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you try to start, you know, charge student fees at $50. That doesn't equate to a school with over 20,000 kids charging student fees at $50 and athletic fees at $50 and $60. So you get money on that back end as well, right? And then at the end of the day, if I'm graduating 30,000 kids every year, let's say for your senior class, you're graduating 10,000 kids, and for HBCU senior class, they're graduating 1,000 kids. Well, that's 10,000 donors that you get right there, and then there's only 1,000 donors that you get from HBCUs. So you see the difference. You know what I'm saying? So there's different levels of funding that you're not getting the full aspect of. There's things that, you know, HBCUs can't control about the size of the school, but then there's things that they also can't control when it comes to government and politics withholding funding from the schools. You see what I'm saying? So there's just different levels of everything. And then when you have schools like North Dakota State, which is like the premier, you know, public institution at their school, which they're going to get massive amounts of government funding from that state. You get what I'm saying? So it's stuff like that.
Yeah, because I figure I pretty much most bigger schools, public, have more students than the average HBCU.
Facts.
But if just say like a school like North Dakota State, that's not. I mean, I don't know if that's a state school, but I mean, probably for North Dakota might be one of the bigger schools. But I didn't know they were like the biggest school in their geographic. Because in most of these towns, the HBCU is the main hub of that town. So I don't know. Maybe they just need to accept more students. That might be an option too.
Well, I mean, accepting more students is not as easy as it sounds, because if you accept more students, I have to be able to board those students. So that means I need more dorm rooms. That means I need more, you know, I need more buildings. I need more like class sizes. Like there's aspects of HBCU schools, like, because if you make it too big, then you take away the one-on-one that a lot of HBCU institutions have. You know, that's what makes them really special, because they have that great one-on-one where, you know, it might be, I remember when I was going to Claflin, it was, my English class was like 20 people. You know what I'm saying? So I knew everybody in the English, but then when I went to University of New Haven, it was like 60 kids in my English class. I'm like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Like, where all these people come from? So it's those, that's the difference you get from when you go up in population. You lose that family aspect. I think if you had bigger HBCUs, I think the homecomings would just be that much bigger. I think there's but I still think you might lose just a little bit of that family environment if you just went a little too big, but you never know though. I would love to see it happen.
Oh, last thing, I've been keeping up with Roland Martin. I usually watch him. I remember like probably 2 months ago, he had a thing about the funding. Didn't HBCUs just get a big check cut to them from the Democrats? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you talking about Joe Biden's deal? I believe so. I think it was supposed to be like 20 billion, but then it came down to like 3 billion or something like that. I think it was something like that. I don't know for sure, but I do know they did sign a bill in place for HBCU. So
yeah, maybe somebody can call in and tell you, but appreciate it.
hey, no problem, man. Appreciate the call, Musa. So, and listen, HBCU grads, I hope I did y'all justice, man. I ain't want to, I don't like to speak on. I try to keep it in my parameter of what I know. So please, if it was, if I misspoke or anything, please correct me in the comments. I am not too big to get corrected. Please believe me. But yeah, overall, listen, this is my point, man. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get up out of here. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you like the stream. Okay. And also I'll be dropping the housewarming gift list in the chat as well, in the description box as well. Hey, what's up, LaShawna? Talk to me.
Okay, I just wanted to double back on what the caller was referring to.
Okay.
Funding from the government.
Yeah.
Okay, so they do have the money. If you want to look it up, just type in HEERF in your school, and you can find the information. So if I want to look up Grambling, which I already have, I can look up Grambling, and it gives you a breakdown of the report. They have to do a quarterly report, and on those documents, it should tell you where the money was spent. And I'm glad that he brought that up, because a lot of times what happens at HBCUs is that we'll get this funding, and then our board will sit around arguing about where the money needs to be spent, and they never come to an agreement. So we end up having millions and millions of dollars that goes back to the state because we are lacking in leadership and getting stuff done. So yeah, that's a whole nother show, Scotty. But
wow.
Yeah. And but it's HEERF, and type in your school, and it should be in your school's website as well, because they have to do a quarterly report. And I want everybody to look at the list of things that you can spend that money on, right? Because we have to start being more creative. I think one of the line items is equipment, and another one is campus safety and security. Now, when I was looking at this at first, my mind said, well, that's a broad range of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make sure that we're holding our administrators accountable for how they're spending their money. Think about back when Hampton was able to clear those balances of those students. That's where part of that money is coming from. So alumni, we need to make sure that we know the plans that are in place for the funding to be allocated. It's one thing for us to say, okay, we got the money, but we need to make sure that we're circling back and seeing where it's actually being spent and what the plans are that's on the table right now.
Hey, appreciate the
that's where we get caught up at.
Nah, appreciate the call, Yolanda.
Scotty, y'all have a good weekend.
No problem. You too. Hey, if y'all want to go, Miss Yolanda is starting her. Miss LaShawna is starting her own YouTube channel. It's called Yard Talk. YARDTLKA. Miss LaShawna, put that in the chat. Your link for your YouTube channel that you just started. All right, y'all make sure y'all go support, go subscribe, get over there, like, share. She hit you with all the news. Hey, caller, you lot, talk to me.
What up, Scotty? This is As We're Awakened.
What's up, Wake?
Hey, I'm going to drop a link in the chat. And this is the report on the NCAA sports finances and where the money comes from and how it's distributed in their expenses, which will kind of show what every school has to operate by the same mode. NCAA is supported, 36% of their funding comes from the government, and they only take 11% of ticket sales as a whole. So you look at that link I just dropped in there, then you get a big picture of how this money goes to the NCAA and how these colleges use it and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got.
Oh, no problem. Make sure you drop that in the chat, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the chat.
All right, man. Appreciate you. All right, y'all want to go check that out, get some more information, get some more clarification on where the money's going and things like that. Appreciate you, Wake, for dropping it in the chat. Listen, guys, it's this, right? I'm going to always be on the bandwagon of cultivate your own ground, right? So, listen, I'll tell you this. I'm gonna be transparent. When I was in my first marriage, right? We went to counseling, and the pastor said, what you want your wife to be, you have to cultivate. All right. You have to cultivate that. You have to bring it out of her. You have to, you know what I'm saying? You have to see past the now and see where you want your relationship to be. Right. It's the same thing with your school, right? You have to look past the now. You have to start cultivating for what you want, you know, Alabama State to look like in 5 years, what you want Grambling to look like in 5 years, what you want Jackson State to look like in 5 years, what you want Alabama A&M to look like in 5 years. You have to cultivate what you have, right? You can't always look at it like, oh, this person is doing this to me. And you could be right. And you could be 100% right. This person's doing this to you and this person doing it. It's not changing your situation by complaining about it, right? You have to cultivate where you're at right now to get to where you want to go, right? So start putting things in place at these institutions that will cultivate where you're at. So that 3 or 4 years now, you have things in place that are making you money. And if you're getting extra money, you're just getting extra money. Okay? Cultivate. The word for today is cultivate. All right. How do you do that? How do you cultivate? Well, you brainstorm. Like I like what Kofi said, have a town hall meeting, right? Get people involved. Send out listen, there's some creative ass people out there in the world, right? Send out a mass email to all alumni asking for ideas. Have a post. Listen, man, I see more people post on the dumbest stuff on Twitter and Facebook. You could have people post underneath your web page, your Twitter page of like, yo, innovate. Thank you. Innovate or die. There's so many creative people out here in the world. And listen, just like I try to get you guys to engage with me in the chat or get engagement on my Twitter or Instagram, make sure you follow those, by the way, Offscript_TV, Offscript_vids. All right. You have to invigorate your base. You have to invigorate your fans, right? Your alumni. Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I have never seen people go so hard. I've never seen alumni go so hard for their institutions, right? I mean, I'm talking about like, Scotty, you ain't shit. You ain't this. I mean, Bama's just be ready to fight for their institutions, right? Fight to cultivate. Fight to cultivate something, right? Fight to change something. Instead of you always crying and bitching and moaning and talk about, oh, he said this about my school. Oh, he said this about my school. How about you fight to cultivate something? All right. How about you do that? So that's my time, man. Listen, you guys have a great, blessed weekend. I don't think I'm doing anything. Also, you know what? How about this? Let me show you what cultivating looks like. I am coming up, right? I am coming up with a debate show, right? I'm coming up with a debate show, kind of like a first take, kind of like an undisputed, right? That's my goal. That's my plan. If you have any ideas for a name, text me, okay? If you got my DM for Instagram or Twitter, you can DM me there. If you have any names, any ideas for a name, please text it. DM me at Offscript_vids or whatever. I'm trying to innovate. I'm trying to cultivate. All right. Any ideas for a name, please send them my way. Whoever wins, I'll give you something, and I'll definitely shout you out on the first episode. All right. I'll definitely shout you out on the first episode of the debate show. Okay. So that's what it is. I appreciate you guys' time. Until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holler. God bless.